Every week, I talk to business owners who are excited to start, but have no idea what legal steps they actually need to take. And I get it. When you're focused on making sales and building your brand, the legal stuff kind of gets thrown to the wayside. But the reality is that between 36 to 53% of small businesses face lawsuits every single year. And the average liability cost of a lawsuit is around $50,000. So, not setting things up right from the start can lead to IRS nightmares, lost money, or even your business being shut down. So, today I'm walking through the 11 legal steps every business owner needs to take to avoid expensive mistakes and set up their business the right way. Whether you're brand new or just realizing maybe you skipped some steps, this will help you get on track. Now, the first thing that you need to do is choose the right business structure. And this is a step that can make or break your business. If you skip this, you could end up paying more in taxes than necessary, or worse, personally liable for anything that actually goes wrong. So, for me, I chose the wrong structure when first starting my law firm, and it took months and so much back and forth with the state of Florida to correct it, all because I did what my friend said instead of doing my own research. And yes, as a lawyer, I made this mistake. So don't feel bad for not knowing this stuff. Now, the most common options for your business structure are a sole proprietorship, and this is really easy to start, but there's no separation between you and your business, and that means your personal assets are going to be at risk. The next is a limited liability company or an LLC, and this is the best of both worlds for small business owners. It keeps your personal assets protected while keeping things pretty simple. And lastly, we have a corporation, which is better for businesses with investors and partners or plans to grow big, but it comes with a lot of formalities and paperwork. So if you're just starting out and want liability protection, an LLC is usually your best choice. But depending on your industry and your long term plans, it's always good to consult with a lawyer. And like I said, choosing your business structure is a big deal. And it's one of those things that can either set you up for success or cause headaches down the road. So, inside something that I offer called the CEO Legal Kit, I walk you through the key factors to consider between the 6 different business structures like taxes, liability, and future growth. So, you can make the best choice for your business. Plus, there's 9 different lessons covering different legal situations and 23 legal templates to help you legally protect your business. The next step you should take is to get a business address. So, even if you're running your business online, having a business address helps with your privacy. You don't want your home address on all these public business records. So, you can get a virtual address instead of having a physical office. I've used a virtual address for my law firm since 2019, and I've never had any issues. Next, you want to get a registered agent, and a registered agent is required in most states. And this is just a person or a company that receives legal documents on behalf of your business. So if your business ever gets sued, you don't want those documents being served at your house, in front of your neighbors, and such. So a registered agent will help you keep your business address or your address private and ensures that you don't miss critical legal notices. Now that you have your registered agent, you can now register your business. So, this is how you make it official that you have a business in your state. And this process varies depending on your location. But generally, you search for your business name to make sure that it's available. You file your registration paperwork with your state and you pay a filing fee. So next, after your business is registered, you'll want to get an EIN, which stands for Employer Identification Number. EIN is basically like a social security number for your business. The IRS requires it for tax purposes, and most banks do require it to open a business bank account. It is free and it is easy to apply through the IRS website. And I'll link a video above showing you exactly how to get your EIN on the IRS website. And you'll want to get an EIN whether you're hiring employees or not. You don't want to, tie up your personal social security number in your business. Next, you are going to open your business bank account. And I think this is a non-negotiable. If you're mixing business and personal finances, you're creating a nightmare for taxes and could lose your liability protection if you have an LLC. So to open a business bank account, most banks require an EIN, which we just talked about, and your business registration documents. And you may have to make an initial deposit. This varies by bank. And having that separate business bank account helps you track expenses and keeps the IRS happy when tax season comes around. Next, you are going to want to obtain any applicable business licenses. Every state and industry has different business license requirements. Some businesses also need sales tax permits, and failing to get these licenses means fines or potentially getting shut down. So make sure you're checking your state's website or call City Hall to see what's required. The next step may not be necessary depending on the name of your business. You may need to file a DBA, which stands for doing business as. It is also called a fictitious name in some states. And this is needed if you are not using your registered name as your outward facing name that you tell, to your customers or that's on your marketing materials, things like that. So if your business is Smith Consulting LLC, but you market yourself as Next Level Marketing, you would have to file a DBA for Next Level Marketing. Now, depending on whether you have an LLC or a corporation, you will need to create an operating agreement or bylaws. And these documents outline how your business is structured, who owns what, and how decisions are being made. And even if you're a single member LLC, some states do require an operating agreement, and some banks may ask for one before letting you open an account with them. It also protects you legally by proving that your LLC or your corporation or whatever is operating properly and separate from you. Now, after that, you're going to want to make sure that you have any contracts necessary in place. So if you are hiring contractors, you're going to want to have an independent contractor agreement or a non-disclosure agreement. If you are a service provider and clients hire you, then you'll want to have a client agreement or a service agreement. And whatever contracts you need depends on what you're selling. And the last thing that we'll talk about in this guide to starting your business legally is your website policies if you have a website. So you are going to want a privacy policy. You're going to want to have website terms of service or website terms and conditions is another way to say it. And you'll also want to have a refund policy. So you'll need a privacy policy if you are collecting any type of data from your customers or clients. So if you have something like a contact page on your website, you are going to need a privacy policy. And if you are collecting payments on your website, you are going to need a privacy policy. Those aren't the only reasons why you need one, but just examples. Then your website terms of service or website terms and condition. This helps you protect your content, and it also helps limit liability for anybody who visits your website. It is essentially like a rule book for how to use your website for your visitors. And lastly, a refund policy, which is self-explanatory. It is your policy on when somebody can request a refund. So if you don't allow refunds, you would just have something that says, we don't allow refunds. If you do allow refunds, you're going to want to say in what circumstances that you allow them, how many days do they have to request one, all that type of stuff. Now, which of these steps have you already checked off and which ones are you still working on? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to learn more about how I run my business and get some behind the scene insights as well as legal tips so that you can make sure that you're legally protecting your business, make sure you subscribe.